Hey everyone, so let's take a look at how we execute a program and what's happening on the Java virtual machine with the call stack as well as the heap. So here's what we're going to do. We have that program that we have been building, that library full of methods, and I call that shaded area. So I want to compute the shaded area between two circles. So basically I have a inner circle, the red one here, and it has this radius here in red. And then I have another circle that's in blue, the blue circle, and has this bigger radius. So you have the outer circle in blue and the red circle, which is the inner one, in red. So what I want to do is to compute this shaded area here between them. You see? So what is the area? What is this area? Well, this area is nothing else than the area of the blue circle minus the area of the red circle, correct? So how would we do that? Well, let's go back to our VS Code and let's code it right here. So how can we find the shaded area of two circles? Well, first of all, we have to request, we have to read the outer circle. So here we have read circle, right, that we have already written, where we're going to ask the user for the outer circle first. So let's do this. Let's have a variable called double outer radius. And then what is the method called again? It's called read radius. So we're going to say read radius like that, and we read the radius for the outer circle. Then we call that method again because we want the inner circle radius, and then we call it again to read. So now we have the two radius. What do we need to do? We need to find the area for the outer circle and the area for the inner circle. Well, we also have a method called compute circle area that displays, not display, but it computes the circle, the area of one circle. So I can use that method right here to say, what does it return? Compute circle area returns a double. So I have a double outer area. So outer circle area is the return value that compute circle area will return given the outer radius. So the radius that I read there is going to be the input for the compute circle area, and then I get the circle area. And now I'll do the same for the inner circle. I'll have the inner area, inner circle area. Again, I'm going to compute the same or call the same method, but now I pass a different argument. The argument for this call will be inner radius. That's equivalent to the radius of the inner circle, the red one. So this is the red circle area, and this is the blue circle area. Oops. Now, what is the area of the shaded area? Will be also a double, and I'm gonna call shaded area, and that will be the outer area minus the inner area, correct? And then I can simply display println a shaded area is, put here shaded area, like so, right? So if I execute this, first let's compile shaded area.java, then execute like so. So enter the circle circle's radius. We know this is the outer circle. So let's say this one has 8.0, the radius. And the next one is the inner one. So this is a smaller one. So let's say 4.7. So the shaded area is 131. So you see how we are calling the methods that we have written before to compute the shaded area. What I want to do now is to explain to you what's happening on inside the Java virtual machine when we are executing this program. And I forgot to get my whatever tablet this is. Okay, sorry about that. Here we go. I have made, so let me see if I can make this. You can see here on the right we have our program, and here on the left we have that PowerPoint slide where I'm gonna write on that. Okay, so here we go. When the execution for Java shaded area starts, that's what we've done right there, the Java virtual machine is invoked. And in the Java virtual machine, we have, let me change my pen color right here. We have the stack, right? So here's the stack. Let me put my stack. Oh my God. Cannot be worse. All right, let's try again. All right, so this is my stack, what we call, it's the call stack or the execution stack. It's the stack. This is a C, this is a K, by the way. All right, and then on my stack is where all of the local variables to my methods go, and all the methods as well. So let's see how this works. This is not too good. I'm not too happy with my call stack. So sorry. So sorry. I should be more, have a better handwriting as well. So let's make this stack a little better. We don't have anything on the AK, so let's do this. We can have more space here because I have bigger stack. So here is my stack. Okay, that's better. All right. So when the execution starts, we have the main method in there, correct? So the main method start executing right here. You can see first line that's going to be executed is this. An outer radius variable is going to be declared as a double. So we have a double. Let's not put the data type in there. We know it's a double. Oh man. Sorry. Let's just have the, where are you? Outer radius. This is important. Outer radius. Now, outer radius is actually going to receive a value, but we don't know what the value is yet. Why? Because we are going to call read radius. So right here is the main method, correct? So the main method in blue is going to actually stop right here, and it's gonna call read radius. So let me change my pen color so you see what's happening. Now the main method just stops and is the caller for read radius right there. Read radius is on top. So let's look at read radius. Read radius does not receive any arguments. So no arguments, but read radius is right here. Read radius. Ooh, radius. and it does not receive any arguments, but it's going to print out something to the user, enter the circle radius, and the user is going to enter something which is stored in a variable called radius. So this is a local variable to the method read radius. Now, the user is going to enter 8.0. That's what we entered for the outer radius. So that is saved right here, 8.0, correct? Now, the next thing that happens is that we are going to return, read radius returns back the value that radius has to the caller. Who is the caller of read radius? Well, the caller is the main method. So this value here is going to be returned back to the caller. The moment, so this is 8.0, correct? The moment that this return statement happens, all that's on the stack about read radius goes away. So actually it gets erased from the stack. So I'm going to do that. We're going to actually get all this away. And then we are back to the main method down here. So read radius just finished, and it's returning 8.0 to be stored in outer radius. So we go back to my blue color, because the blue color is the color of the main method. So here outer radius is store 8.0. And this arrow also goes away. Like that. So now, what is the next line that main method is going to execute? Well, this one, double inner radius equals to read radius. So the first thing that it actually does is to declare a variable of type double, which is called inner radius, right? Now, this line is calling read radius again. So again, I have another call to read radius. So again, we're gonna put a line here because there's a call. That's why it's a stack, because read radius is going to be stacked on top of main read radius. Some people put on top, some people put on at the bottom. It doesn't matter which way you put it. It's just preference. Now, go to read radius again. That's the execution. So we're doing what the Java Virtual Machine actually is doing. Read radius is going to display, enter the circle's radius to the user, and declare a variable of type double that's called radius. And then it is going to call standard in read double. So what's really happening is that standard in, I didn't do this the last time, is standard in dot, this is dot, read double is actually being called, and it's just waiting there for the user to enter something and press enter. And that value that we read, which is 4.0, is actually sent back to the caller, 7.0. So that's what the read double here is doing for us. Standard in read double is nothing else than another method that's also put on in the stack. So the moment that read double returns, all of its stack structure, which we call the frame of a method, goes away. And the 4.7 is actually stored in radius, like so. So this goes away too, like that, there. Now, read radius is going to return radius. So again, we are going to return this back to the caller, which is the main method. So 4.7 is returned to the caller. Now, when this return statement happens, again, everything from the stack is erased about the read radius. So this is what we call the frame of read radius. It's being erased whenever return happens. And then we are back to the main method. Now, in the main method, we have that whatever read radius returns is stored in inner radius. So that's exactly where we're going to put that 4.7 value right here. And then that goes away. So much easier to draw this with you guys on the blackboard. All right, so we only executed 2 lines of code so far, but let's go to the next one. Third line, we have an outer area. The outer area is defined in the main method's frame. So outer area, and then the Java virtual machine calls compute circle area with the outer radius. So it's actually going to pass the outer radius value, which is currently 8.0. So let's see. Let's go to the execution of compute circle area. Where are you? Here, right here, compute circle area. It receives one argument called radius. So change pen color. All right. So here, again, we are going to start the execution of another method. I'm going to just put the initials here, compute circle area. So there is one argument. The argument also goes into the stack. This is called radius. And this argument is receiving the value that's passed by the main method, which is outer radius. You see, let's go back. You see here, outer area, we receive the value of compute circle area outer radius. So outer radius is plugged into radius right there. So here's the value of 8.0 being plugged in or passed as an input argument to compute circle area. Compute circle area will define a local variable called area that will call, will get the value of math pi. So that will be 3.14 something else, right? And then it calls math.powerof. So it's actually calling another method, let me put another color, which is math powerof. Math powerof has 2 arguments, radius and the value of 2. I don't know if math powerof has for the name of its variables, but I might be base, right? So base is the value of the radius, which is 8.0. It's being plugged in. And we have the exponent, right? The exponent is actually 2, this value that we are passing there. This is going to return 8 times 8, which is 64. So 64 is returned back, isn't it? The moment that happens, all of this is erased here. So this is erased, and this 64 is plugged in right here. So now we have 3.14 times 64. And that value is the area for this outer circle of ours, right? So I don't know what that value is. Hold on. I have this. So it might not be exact, but we'll do that. So 3.14 times 64 should be 106. So this is returned back as 106.76. So it will be close enough. That is the value that's actually stored in here, 106.76. And then this is returned back as the area to the caller. So the caller of compute circle area is the main method. Once that returns, everything is erased like that. This is what's happening when our programs are executed. Oh, that one was already erased before. And then we are back to the main method. In the main method, we are going to store 106.76 in the outer area. That return value here is just erased 2. So we go back. Now we are in this line of code, line 55, where we are computing the inner area circle where the same thing is going to happen. So now we are here and we hit the drawing. We're going to do the inner area, again a variable that receives the value of what? Well, we don't know. That's the return value of compute circle when I pass the inner radius. What is the value of inner radius? 4.7. So 4.7 is passed to compute circle area. So there we go again. Compute circle area. One more time, bear with me. Compute circle area is called again. Compute circle area is called again, but now the radius has another value. It doesn't have 8 anymore. It has the inner radius, 4.7. Now this little guy of ours is going to compute an area. So area is a local variable to the method compute circle area. Radius is the argument, but it's always, all of them are stored on the stack. All right, so here we have math pi, so 3.14 again. I'm not being very precise here, times power of. Well, now we call power of again, right? So power of. So what were the values, the variable names that I imagined? I imagined base is now 4.7 and the exponent is 2. Right, so radius is the base and 2 is the exponent. Now when I do this, it's going to be 4.7 times 4.7, which is 2209. So power of is going to return 2209. Again, this is not going to be very precise. It's going to be a little different from what the program there is actually returning to us. So now 2209 is going to be replaced by math power of. So right here, 2209. And then we multiply 2209 times 3.14. Something's wrong here, I think. What did I do wrong? Because my numbers are not right, I think. We'll see. Ooh. So this should be 6936, right? And then that's the area. 4.7. How much is 4.7 times 4.7? That's 22 times 14. All right, we'll see what's happening. So that's 69. 69 is returned back. So the area is 6936, which is going to be returned back to the caller, which is 69.36, right? All right, when we return, all of this is erased, except for the return value that's going to be saved into the inner area right there. So now let me grab that blue color again. 6936 is right here. And then we're back to the main method where we are going to say the shaded area is the outer area minus the inner area. And this is what I'm not getting. Why am mine is not right? So the outer area is 106.76 minus 69.36. 0.36. So that's 37. So my program, the way I explain it to you, is going to print out 37.4 when it prints, shaded area. So that is, forgot the shaded area variable right here. I'm so concerned because my values aren't right. The shaded area is outer area minus inner area. So shaded area will be, if I do this minus that, I've got 37.9. But when we call system out println, which is also another method when we're passing the shaded area is, and we pass this value right there, that's what's going to be printed. But you see here how this is 131. So what's wrong? What happened to our program? I passed 8. So what did I miss? What am I computing? I'm computing something wrong, guys, because the area is, I didn't compute the area correctly. Didn't I do times pi? 64, I did times pi. So why is my program wrong when I ran it over here? Oh, I wanted to show you so nicely. Now my output is not the same as the program. Okay, so let's see, where did I miss it? Because we have the values all here that I computed by hand. So let's see what happened. We can print it out. Let's print it out right here. So we'll see, what did I miss? Let's do standard out. See, that's the beauty when I have you guys in class, because you guys pointed out my errors. Outer area, radius outer area. I want the outer area, and then I'm also going to print the inner area because that's where I made a mistake. Right there, just want to see the values. So we have 8.0 and 4.0. Do you think I don't know how to do power off? That's very possible. So 8.0, that's the outer one, and 4.7 is the inner one. Oh, I computed it wrong. So the outer area is 201 and the inner area is 69. What did I do wrong? What is power of? Radius is not. So 8.0 times 8.0, that's 64, I know that. And the pi, 3.1415, that's all, as much as I remember. So that's 201. Oh, because I did 64 times 3.14. Oh, I made a mistake, guys, on my computation. So this should be 200 something, 200, right? It's 201. Mine would be 200, so give or take, because I'm not using the whole pi. But this value is wrong. It should be 201. And then 69. Well, at least this one I got almost right. So it's this one that I made a mistake. Didn't I multiply? How did I do? What did I do? 8.0 times 8.0, that's 64, I know that. But then the 3.14, I messed up there because this should be 200. So if you were wondering since the beginning of this video that this should be 200, you are right. So this should be 200. So let's fix it. We can fix that and then have that drawn here, so that I would have 296. So that minus my 69.36, my shaded area would be not this value but 131.6. all right. And that's close enough. See, I thought I would be close enough, but not that far wrong because I miscomputed the outer area. I'm sorry, guys. But all I wanted to do is to show you how the call stack works when it's executing our program. Now, every time we call a method, the method that's being called, the callee, goes on top of the caller. So the caller was the main method that called read radius twice, and then compute circle area also twice. So those were the callees, and the caller was the main method, right? Sorry for my mistake. I'll see you very soon. Bye, everyone.